In the year 2026, the greatest threat to your survival is not a virus, a war, or a financial collapse, it is your own comfort. Dr. Thorne has observed a civilization that has been meticulously designed to be soft, fragile, and utterly dependent on an external life support system. You live in climate-controlled boxes, you sit in ergonomically designed chairs that weaken your spine, and you consume pre-masticated information that kills your critical thought. You have been told that comfort is the ultimate goal of progress, but the truth is a biological death sentence. Your genes were forged in the fires of ice ages and the exhaustion of the hunt. They expect resistance. They crave challenge. But in this era of synthetic ease, your biological systems are beginning to atrophy. You are like a high-performance blade that is being allowed to rust in a velvet-lined scabbard. But wait, before you dismiss this as mere nostalgia for a harder time, you must understand the fragility trap. The system wants you soft because a soft man is easy to manage, easy to frighten, and easy to replace. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I will reveal how your addiction to comfort is literally shutting down your immune system and erasing your metabolic edge. We are about to shatter the glass cage of the modern lifestyle to reveal the powerhouse that lies dormant beneath the fat and the fatigue. The tragedy of the modern man is that he has traded his anti-fragility for a momentary sense of security. Dr. Thorne sees the rising tide of chronic illness and mental instability as the natural result of a life without friction. When you remove all stress from a biological system, that system does not become safer, it becomes brittle. Your bones become thin because they don't carry weight. Your heart becomes weak because it never has to race against a real threat. Your mind becomes chaotic because it is never forced to endure silence or hardship. We have created a world where safety is a slow-motion suicide. But here is the secret that the architects of your comfort will never share: the human body is the only machine that actually improves when it is put under pressure. There is a specific threshold of stress that triggers a biological resurrection, a state where your cells begin to repair themselves with a ferocity you haven't felt since childhood. What I am about to show you is the blueprint to escape the domestic cage and reclaim your position as a top-tier predator in a high-voltage world. If you don't choose your own hardships now, the world will eventually choose them for you, and you will not have the strength to survive the encounter. To understand the depth of the betrayal, we must look at what happens inside your tissues when you choose the easy path. In the year 2026, your body is essentially hibernating while you are wide awake. Because you are never cold, your brown fat, the metabolic furnace of your ancestors, has turned white and sluggish. Because you never go hungry, your cells have forgotten how to perform autophagy, the essential process of cellular housecleaning. You are literally filled with biological debris, old proteins, and broken mitochondria that have no reason to leave. Dr. Thorne calls this metabolic stagnation. You are a stagnant pond where life once roared. But the heist goes even deeper. The constant availability of comfort has lowered your hormetic threshold. Small inconveniences now feel like major catastrophes. A slow internet connection or a cold room triggers a stress response that should be reserved for a lion attack. You are living in a state of permanent, low-grade anxiety because your nervous system has lost the ability to distinguish between a minor annoyance and a mortal threat. This is the fragility trap in its purest form. You are stressed by nothing, yet weakened by everything. But don't turn away yet, because we are about to look at the Shield of Hormesis, the specific types of voluntary stress that can turn your fragile frame into a biological fortress. The system wants you to fear the cold, fear the hunger, and fear the sweat. But in those very things lies the key to your liberation from the grid. In the year 2026, sovereignty is built on the foundation of antifragility. This is the property of systems that grow stronger when exposed to volatility and stress. Dr. Thorne has developed a protocol to reintroduce these essential stressors into your domesticated life without breaking the machine. Think of it as inoculating yourself against the coming storms. While the masses are seeking more padding for their lives, the sovereign man is seeking more resistance. We are looking for the sweet spot of stress: too little and you atrophy, too much and you break. But right now, you are drowning in too little. Your ancestors survived the freezing tundras with nothing but their breath and their will, yet you catch a cold the moment the heater fails. This is not a lack of technology, it is a lack of biological integrity. But wait, there is a specific hidden switch in your DNA called the survival circuit that can only be flipped by voluntary discomfort. When you flip this switch, your body stops storing fat and starts building armor. It stops being reactive and starts being proactive. But before I give you the keys to this circuit, you must look in the mirror and be honest about the softness you have allowed to settle into your spirit. The system has seduced you with the promise of a life without pain, but they forgot to mention that a life without pain is also a life without power. We are going to reclaim that power, one cold breath and one heavy lift at a time. The transition from the cage to the wild is not a journey of miles, but a journey of cellular transformation. To escape the velvet-lined cage of 2026, you must execute a tactical strike against your own comfort. Dr. Thorne's Antifragility Protocol is not a suggestion, it is a mandatory recalibration for anyone who wishes to remain sovereign in a collapsing world. We begin with the thermal shock. Your body has forgotten how to regulate its own internal furnace because you have outsourced the job to a thermostat. By exposing your skin to the brutal honesty of cold water and the unforgiving heat of the flame, you force your vascular system to wake up from its long, soft slumber. This is not about endurance, it is about vascular sovereignty. Second, we introduce gravity's debt. You must move heavy objects. You must feel the compression of the earth against your frame. Your bones only understand the language of weight, without it, they become porous and weak. When you lift, you are telling your genes that the hunt is still on, and they respond by reinforcing the foundation of your existence. Third, we implement digestive silence. In a world of 24-hour convenience, the act of not eating is a revolutionary act of self-ownership. By stepping away from the trough, you allow your cells to enter the state of autophagy, the biological recycling of the weak and the broken. You are literally burning away the parts of yourself that are no longer fit for the journey ahead. But be warned, your domesticated mind will scream for the couch and the snack. It will tell you that you are suffering needlessly. You must ignore the voice of the slave. You are not suffering, you are training. You are hardening the glass into steel. As the protocol takes hold, you will notice a strange thing: the anxieties that once paralyzed you will start to evaporate. You are becoming too dense, too resilient, and too powerful to be bothered by the trivialities of the grid. The predator is returning to the mirror, and he is hungry for a challenge that matches his newfound strength. As we close this 37th chapter, look at the world around you and see the fragility trap for what it truly is: a filter. The coming decade will not be kind to the soft, the reactive, or the dependent. In the year 2026, the divide between the domesticated and the sovereign is becoming a vast, unbridgeable chasm. Dr. Thorne stands as the architect of those who choose the hard path. The stagnation is over. The brown fat is burning. The bones are hardening. The spirit is sharpening. You are no longer a brittle branch that snaps at the first sign of a storm, you are the ancient oak that feeds on the wind. The biological resurrection is complete, and you are stepping out of the glass cage with a nervous system that is calibrated for high-voltage reality. You don't seek a life without stress, you seek the stress that makes you formidable. The system wants you soft and predictable so they can calculate your movements, but a sovereign man is an anomaly they cannot factor into their equations. Carry this hardness with you like a suit of invisible armor. Protect your edge, seek the friction, and never, ever return to the comfort that once sought to kill you. You are pure, you are resilient, and you are finally, undeniably, unbreakable. The throne of the future does not belong to the one who had the most ease, but to the one who could endure the most and grow stronger because of it. The blueprint is restored. The cage is empty. The wild is calling. Now, go forth and dominate the terrain that others are too soft to even walk upon. Stay cold. Stay heavy. Stay sovereign. The era of the fragile human is ending, and your reign as an architect of the unbreakable has just begun.